It's been 1 year since we picked up our 2023 Alliance Avenue 22ML, and I thought it was time to talk about things that went wrong during the first year, things we love, and answer the ultimate question: would we buy another Alliance again in the future? Welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick, and I'm so glad you stopped by today. If this is your first time here, we have been RVing since 2005. We've owned everything from a 13-foot teardrop all the way up to a 35-foot fifth wheel. This is RV number 11. We've been on YouTube for the last 7 years, just trying to share the good and the bad of RVing. We always try to be honest and bring you information that may be useful. And several of you have reached out and said, hey, Patrick, we would love a 1-year review of your Alliance. And I thought, well, we are coming up literally in the next 2 weeks on the 1-year anniversary of picking it up, and so it seems like the perfect time to do it. So what I want to do is just kind of go through some of the things that went wrong with RVs, because let's face it, when you buy a new RV, there's always going to be something wrong with it that you're going to need to get fixed along the way. You're just always hoping it's nothing major. So we're going to go through that list, and I also want to point out some of the things we absolutely love about it. Stick to the end of the video, because I will answer that question for our next RV. Will we even consider Alliance as one of our choices? Let's go ahead and start right here on the outside, and I want to point out something you'll see right up here, and that is our graphics are peeling. Now, I'm a little shocked. In all the years of RVs we've owned, I've never had an RV's graphics start peeling in the first year. Now, the good news is this is nothing major. We're going to put in a request to Alliance. I've heard through forums that they will send you a new one and you'll put it on, but honestly, I was just a little shocked that we're already having some issues with that. But the good news is that's minor and it can be taken care of. Now, one of the issues that's plagued us since day one, literally on our way home from Kentucky with our brand new RV, we have had issues with the wires here in the slide out. Now, this is just bad design on Alliance's part, in my opinion. Sorry, Alliance, I disagree with your assessment of this. Why you would put wires right beside of a wheel that's so close when you could have ran them to the other end and been free and clear of any tire rub makes no sense to me. Now, they had sent us a new suspension spring, and our mobile tech, Myron from Landstar RV, had installed it. It literally sprung within the first week, and we have been fighting this since way back in December again. Hopefully this shows up on camera, but we already have cracking right here in this plastic trim piece. This actually occurred last summer. We noticed it cracking, but I will tell you, Alliance has already sent us a brand new one to put on. I just haven't installed it yet, because until this one totally breaks, I figure might as well keep the new one in reserve. The next item on our list actually started out here, and I know most of you are thinking, oh, he's pointing at the roof, there must have been a leak. No, absolutely no leaks on this RV. Very happy with that. But it was pre-wired for a backup camera. And so when I finally went last fall and installed a backup camera, I noticed that the camera had instant power. Now, in past RVs, the pre-wire was hooked up to where you had to turn your truck lights on or your tow vehicle lights on to actually get the camera to come on, and this came on its own. Started doing a little research, and apparently in most RVs, what Alliance does is they install a switch inside so you can turn it on and off, and that way your lights on your tow vehicle don't have to be on to activate your camera. Unfortunately, in our case, they ran the wires, but they did not install the switch. Simple fix. Myron found us a switch, installed it in one of the open slots inside, and now we can power that on and off. Another thing I want to point out on this particular model is with our 3/4 ton truck, we cannot really get the RV level. We're always kind of pitched from front to back, and that means this landing gear sits really low to the ground. Now, if you did not put snap pads on, we probably would be fine. The minute I installed our snap pads, we were way too close to the ground for comfort when the landing gear was up. Simple solution, because I really don't think this is an Alliance issue. It's probably just the size of the RV with our truck, but we just remove the feet in the rear every time we go to travel, and then we put them right back on. Another issue we had right away was there were 2 screws holding these 2 pieces of metal together. The bottom screw just finally worked its way all the way out. I was constantly screwing it in, so I ended up putting a pop rivet in here. I just noticed today that we're missing the top screw, so I'm just going to do the same thing here and go ahead and fix that. Another issue we have is this actually flops really bad. You can see how loose it is. Now, there was a bracket that I found that had never been attached. There was a screw there, but no bracket. But I went ahead and was able to attach that bracket, but just today as I'm filming this video, I noticed The bracket is attached here, but it appears to have broken off. And so we're going to have to find a way to secure this so it's not flopping in the wind. As far as the discolorization, that's on me. Alliance had stickers on here. I just like to clear the stickers off. I don't care for all the stickers on our RV. So that discoloration, again, that's just because I had removed the stickers. So that's pretty much it on the outside. Overall, everything outside for the most part has been okay. Now let's go ahead and head on inside and take a look in there. Inside our RV, we've had the typical issues you would expect with any new RV. There's been little cosmetic issues. We had a cabinet corner where the paint was missing. We had a shelf after we took possession that we found was broken. There was a little spot on the wall in the slide out where it looks like maybe somebody had taken paint and ripped the covering off, but it was small and we've covered that up. Lots of little fit and finish things that are not surprising, but I guess with Alliance, I was expecting a little higher quality in terms of the fit and finish. We had one of the dimmer switches fail on us, and Alliance authorized Myron, our service tech, to go ahead and replace it, and he did. But then we had another one fail in the bedroom, and that's when I decided that I wanted to replace them. So we have actually upgraded all of our dimmer switches in here to these toggle switches that have a slide dimmer. We actually like them better, and we've heard through reviews and from Myron that these have a lower failure rate on them, so we just decided to upgrade them altogether. Another issue we had with our trailer right from the get-go was the toilet would not hold water in the bowl. You'd fill it up and come back later and it was just gone. Now, we dealt with it over the summer, and in the fall I finally reached out to Alliance. They had me run several tests on it, and eventually they sent me a new black seal to install. And ultimately, that solved our issue. And I was really appreciative of the way Alliance has worked with us, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Another thing that we noticed right from the get-go was these walls here in the bathroom where the seam comes together, they had not been actually attached very good right down here. And so I ended up just trying to pull back the seam tape and put some more staples in, and now it's a little more solid. Another example of the fit and finish not being quite where I think it should be, you'll see there's a gap down here, and it's like that in several places, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see down at that end. Same deal there. Had they just used a little glue on that little trim piece, I think it would have stayed in place, but unfortunately it has slipped down in. I pulled it out several times. Eventually I will get some glue out and get this fixed. Now, we got really lucky because our refrigerator was on the verge of potentially falling out during travel. I just happened on one of our stops last fall, come in here on a break to put something in the refrigerator and noticed a couple screws laying on the floor. And I was like, where did those come from? Well, ultimately, they had worked their way out from the frame, and I noticed that there was a couple others missing. The top was literally loose. Now, I immediately put those back in, found a couple more screws, I tightened them up, and I keep an eye on them. But that is a concern that for whatever reason, those screws had worked their way out, and it could have been catastrophic in terms of the damage it would have done had the entire refrigerator fallen out of its opening. Now, I want to talk about some of the things we love and maybe don't love, and we did do a couple separate videos on that last year, and you can check those out. But the table and booth, we really like this space. But the table originally was on two set posts. They were put way too far back. Only a child could really slip back there and be comfortable. And initially I had pulled it out about an inch on the top to solve it, but it still wasn't perfect. Ultimately, what we ended up doing was finding 4 leg posts at IKEA, taking those posts out, and now we can move this table around, use it in other places, and it's just much more usable. In addition to adding these legs that allow us to move the table around, we actually purchased this bench. This was part of a dinette set at a local furniture store, and we asked if we could buy just this bench because it fits perfectly under here. We can pull it out, add more seating space, or just move it around the RV for more seating space. And they said, sure, we'll order you one in. I think we spent like $130 on this bench. Honestly, we've seen lots of benches since then. If you go to Home Goods, they tend to carry benches like this, and it just really adds space. We just slide it up under. When we travel, I just use some straps that screw into the woodwork here, and it holds the table and the bench in place. We've had no issues. But I really like having this space because with these big windows, which are a real plus on this RV because we have them here and across in the theater scene, we get really good cross breeze. I can sit here in the mornings and work, or I can just sit here and read my magazines. Today I'm reading RV Destinations magazine, You may have heard of it. This is their big top destinations for 2024. It's their biggest, best issue of the year. Normally, RV Destinations magazine is a quarterly, 4 times a year, but they add this one in as a separate feature. You can buy just this, or you can order a quarterly subscription. I recommend just get the VIP package. What that will do is it will give you everything, including digital, print, this issue, and access to all the old digitals. This is how we find places to go RVing, including this year's feature right here on the front is Booth Bay, Harbor, Maine. We love Booth Bay. You probably saw those videos. If you want to sign up for a subscription, any subscription, I have a discount code. I'll leave that down below for you. You can link to it. Take 20% off any subscription you want. No, we're not being paid. We don't make a commission on these. We're just friends with Randy and Callie Beheimer, the owners, and we love their magazine. We paid for our subscription, but I did want to mention it because this is just phenomenal if you're an RVer. And even if you're not an RVer and you're looking for places to travel, still a good subscription to have. The other thing that just honestly is not good in here are the cushions. They're just way too thin and you immediately sink right to the wood underneath. Now, our workaround for that is we bought these chair pads at IKEA. We have 4 of them in here, so whoever's sitting here, this actually makes a huge difference in making the bottom of these cushions more comfortable, but it's such a great dining space. If they just went with a higher quality and thicker foam, I think this would be much more enjoyable for whoever's using it. Speaking of the overall feel of our RV, we absolutely love it. We love this Alliance from the minute we walked into it. We love the rear kitchen. We love this layout in terms of having the theater seating for a dedicated space, the big dinette over here for a place to dine and work, and the white cabinetry and the light color woods just open up a very small space. Remember, this fifth wheel is only 27 feet 3 inches from the back to the front. So it's not a super large fifth wheel, but it gives you a lot of usable space. And so in terms of the interior decor, we feel like Alliance nailed it. The big question is, how has the white cabinets and doors held up over the first year? And I have to say, better than we thought they would. We knew going into this, white was going to be a challenge. The cabinets still basically look brand new. We're seeing just a little bit of wear on the pantry door, on the edge, but overall, this has held up really well. Same way with the fabrics that were used for the cushions and also for theater seating. Those have held up really well. In fact, I think most people walk in here would think we just had bought this RV. It looks that good after a year of use. You email their customer service department. I have found in our instance, we have been getting responses within 24 hours from them to at least say, hey, we got your email, we're working on it. And what I love about Alliance is they have been sending us parts if they feel that it's something that I can fix myself so that we don't have to run to a dealer. And number 2, they allow us to use a mobile service tech. And we have a great one here in Northeast Indiana, Myron from Landstar RV. So I guess we're to the point of the big questions of, do we love our RV? And obviously you can tell we love our RV. It's been wonderful. Maybe we've been a little disappointed with some of the fit and finish issues, and we're definitely sad that they just won't correct the slide out wiring issue. When I questioned it, asked for permission to have it relocated, I was told they would not pay for that because this is the way it was designed and that's the way it should work. But overall, we're very happy with this RV and we're glad we chose it. Now, would we buy an Alliance again? It's funny because over the last 12 months, we kind of went back and forth on this. And a few months ago, we were saying, you know what, we would consider Alliance, but I'm not sure it would be at the top of our list. And here we are at the end of our 1 year, and we went out looking at some other RVs just to remind us what other RVs look like. And we've come to the conclusion, actually, we'd consider Alliance and put it at the top of our list. Now, I should have made this point right up front, but we are not ambassadors for Alliance. We have no affiliation with the company. I don't even think they know we have a YouTube channel, to be quite honest. We bought this RV, and so this review is truly our feelings about it. And that's why I'm not afraid to point out the things that aren't good on the RV or that we are dissatisfied with, but I also want to be honest about all the good stuff, including their customer service department. Until next time, everyone, we'll see ya on down the road. Bye.
Travels with the lady. We'll see you on down the road.